I need to go live on Instagram. Oh, thank you. I'm sure you do. You're my baby. So I'm sure you do. Okay. I'm trying to find. Okay. Okay. Yes. I see you now, Gabi. Thank you, darling. Okay. I'm trying to get on Facebook. Okay. The network on Facebook for some reason has always been very dicey. All right. Hello, my viewers. I'm so sorry. Today is just been so crazy. If you can see me, you see that I'm not really prepared. I just, like I don't want to just, disappoint people and not come online at all. And that's why I have come online today. Okay, just as usual. um because we used to do it in the evening, now we are doing it, sorry, we used to do it in the morning, now we're doing it in the evening, and it's just, messed up everything for me, and I'm really struggling to just get everything back on track, but I know I will get there. See, that is one of the reasons you should have help and support when you're doing videos. Okay, but it doesn't matter, we are still going to carry on. We're still going to carry on. So just bear me a few minutes to, get set and pull lighting on, and then we will be up and running fully. Okay? I'm trying to put the lighting on now. It's a long story why I'm so all over the place today, but I'll tell you in a minute. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I really appreciate that. Yes. I'm gonna get there. What have I done now? I think I've done something to this one again. Okay. I'm back on track. I'm back on track. Oh, yes. Getting there now. Okay. Hello, everyone. How's your weekend been? I'm so sorry, it's all over the place today, just like Nigeria. Everything is all over the place. But just bear with me. Listen to me, don't look at me. All right. I would rather just do it over voice today, but I've got a lot going on today. And let me just use this opportunity to digress a bit. If you have a child, Gen Alpha child, and I mean all those kids between 14 downwards, 14 to 7, 5 maybe, I don't know. I've got an 8-year-old, and I got hold of his phone today just to see what he's been doing on the phone. And one of his friends, I can't say the things that I saw on my son's phone today. Hello, Kings, how are you? And I saw that he's been having conversations that I don't believe an 8-year-old can have. These kids are so matured, as in the level of savagery. They are savage. Someone was saying it online somewhere. I think it was on Instagram. I saw that a couple of weeks ago. And savagery, these Gen Alpha people, they are savages. The kind of things that come out of these kids, that you see them talking about on their phones. So if you have any child that is, in primary school, please make sure if they have the phone, make sure you're checking what they're doing on the phone so that you can regulate it and know your child better. Otherwise, we'll just be in this cocoon thinking, oh yeah, I trust my son. I know my son. I know what my son is doing. I know what my daughter is doing. Please check. Check, check. Please check. Don't be cocky and say you know your child. Please check. Okay? It is very important to do that so that you know what these children are up to. Okay? And that's me digressing. So back to the topic of today. Nigeria, we're back. Hey, what is going on in Nigeria? What is going on in Nigeria? Again, what is going on? I heard something today. Please, can someone tell me it's not true? My manager told me something today. I want to believe it's not true. I heard that minimum wage is 30K. Is that true? I heard minimum wage is 30K. Please tell me. Oguchi Miolamileko, please tell me if you're in Nigeria. Do you know? They said minimum wage in Nigeria is 30K. That is 30,000 naira. Please tell me that is not true. Nigerians, as you are coming in, please tell me it's not true that minimum wage in Nigeria is 30,000 naira. Tell me it's not true. I want someone to tell me that is not true. That you pay an adult 30,000 naira. That people are telling me that you can't cook a pot of stew with. I've been out of the system for some time, so I don't really understand naira that much. But from what I have been told, that with 30K, you can cook a proper full-on pot of stew with. And they're telling me that that's the minimum wage for somebody. Tell me it's not true. Because I don't even know where to start from when I'm thinking about that. I don't even know where to start from. 30K. I don't know where to start from. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm still in shock from that. 30,000 naira. My God. So if they are buying, because I remember when I was in Nigeria in November, if I go out with my people that we were together, I think there are about 4 5 of us. Each meal is like 20K if we stop to eat, and that is not like top range restaurant, because me, I like buka, I like roadside food a lot. So when we all eat, it's usually about 20 25K if I remember correctly. So how would that feed someone and his family? And our government is looking at that. Nigeria. Our government is looking at that. I'm in shock. The almost 300 children that were kidnapped, I heard, in fact, the embarrassment that I had when I was listening to Al Jazeera and they were talking about it, and they said our Oga at the top, Emilokon, that they went to open an airport that was named after them, a few kilometers, about 100 kilometers from where they stole those children. And a few days down the line, they went to open cut ribbon. They went to cut ribbon for that airport. I heard it in Al Jazeera, not even from Nigerian station. Embarrassing or not, it is embarrassing. Where are these children? Because I still can't wrap my head around how hoodlums will pick over 200, almost 300 children and staff, and they just disappear into thin air. Ow, ow, ow. Please explain it to me, because me, I'm a bit dull. So I need people that are smarter than me to explain how that happens. How? There's so many stories of kings being killed They'll just go into a palace, kidnap a king, kill them. And we have different forces. We have the police force, we have the army, we have the air force, we have the navy, we have money, we have people, we have land, we have natural resources. What don't we have in Nigeria? Swag self we have, intellect we have. So what is going on? Why are there things like this going on every day? And instead of us finding solution, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm actually a bit relieved when I heard that naira pound to naira has dropped down a bit. It's not as bad as it was a couple of weeks. It's still very bad. Don't get me wrong. It's still very bad, but it's not as bad as it was. So, are we going to carry on watching things degenerate? Are we going to carry on watching things degenerate? There are so many situations going now that nobody is saying anything about. It's saddening. It saddens me when I read about these things, when I'm told about these things. It saddens me. But are we just going to keep looking? And if you put on YouTube parties in Nigeria, people don't even care. Oh. If you see the way they are blowing money, if you see the way they are blowing money, because they don't care. Our government negotiating with bandits. How did bandits become more powerful than a nation? How? This thing's just getting worse and worse. People, let's carry on speaking out. Let's carry on speaking out. I know I'm beginning to sound like broken record, but I can't keep quiet. I have to keep on talking about it. My team and I, this is all we talk about. What can we do? How can we make it better? What can we do to make sure that our voices are heard? It's not about going abroad, going to negotiate for planes. It's not about pastors, telling people to pray for Nigeria. As if all the other countries, God is living there. And God now decide not to live in Nigeria. Because I want them to explain it to me. Is our God, is he only is it that he hates Nigeria that much that he needs you dying in church every day to see a change? I said something last week. I said, when Moses shouted to God when he was by the Red Sea, God said, "Why are you shouting at me? What have you got in your hands? What have we got in our hands? What have we got in our hands? Are we going to carry on selling our birthrights? Are we going to carry on selling ourselves in the name of Rankadede Babani? Is from my town. Is his turn. Because we carry on hearing all of these things and everybody just keeps looking. Nobody cares. And if people don't care about what is happening to people around them, then how are we different than from animals? How are we different? People both abroad and in Nigeria, everybody's just looking at their own little bubbles. Okay, so far I can send money to my parents, I'm fine. So far I can, take care of my younger ones, I'm fine. No, there are other things that we can do. And that is why we should be having discourse like this. What can we do? We should carry on sensitizing ourselves about changes we can make. We need to make changes. Otherwise, these things will carry on happening and they will think it's all right. Some people believe that Nigeria belongs to them and they can carry on, running it to the ground. Running it to ground. It's even worse than running it to the ground. It's already it's digging the ground. Nigeria is run down. So what happens to everything our forefathers fought for? Arise, O compatriots. Where are we arising? Where? Are we just going to carry on ignoring everything happening around us? Or are we going to carry on sensitizing ourselves until our voice is heard all over the world? We are that mighty. That country is that mighty. A lot of people think, yeah, when we split and Igbo goes, Hausa goes, Yoruba go, then the solution will come. That is not true. That's not the solution. That is not the solution. That is not going to create a solution. I keep telling people, I have these arguments with people all the time. The solution is not in everybody going their own way. If you disagree with me, jump in, let's talk. The solution is us getting rid of all these miscreants that are running our country to the ground. The solution is us shouting it out as loud as we can. That an average Nigerian will not let them rest. We will not let them rest until they start doing things that will lift up that country. But if we keep quiet about it and we just think that, okay, I'm not affected, I am working in a bank, or I am a businesswoman, I have many shops in Balogun, so I'm not affected. I have money to spend, I am not affected. Whoever says that, so akpo yakoni. Also akpo yakoni. Because there is no how it won't affect you one day. If it does not affect you directly, okay, what if you are driving down and all of these hoodlums, they come, they kill you, done. Or what pushes them? I know some of them are just, born armed robbers, but some of them is because of this, they have nowhere to go. And they now decide to turn into miscreants. So those of us that have a little bit to put it on our table, let us not rest because if you are not bothered directly, at some point you will be bothered because it will affect you. And a lot of people are coming in and saying that, yeah, it is when we split. It's because Nigeria was good when it has been won. That we've had at the point, Nigeria has been good. And it's always been there. We've always had Hausa, we've always had Fulanis. We've always had these people. So how did they now develop the kind of audacity to be doing the things they're doing in Nigeria at the moment? How? Because we allowed it. For every person that does not vote, or for everybody that does not vote is conscience, you and I allowed it. Everybody has a role to play in what has happened in Nigeria. Everybody has a role. Everybody has played one role or the other, whether directly or indirectly. Because if you don't vote, the people that vote, or the people that vote are the people that they will be counting their votes. So if you go, I don't have time, I don't vote. I've been that person, don't get me wrong. So I'm not, knocking anyone. I have been that person that just go, I'm not bothered. Seriously, they're still going to do whatever they're still going to do. But that is wrong. I know that now. That is wrong. You can't have that kind of mentality over the running of the country you call your own. You can't have that mentality. If you call a country your own, then the way you will take care of your house, nobody will go into their house at night and not lock the door. That country is your house, is my house. So everything you do must show that you put that country first. The welfare of that country belongs to you and I. You can't say, oh, I'm not going to vote because they're going to. No, you are one of the problems that country has. If you go, you are not voting. Or you go, I just like that man. He knows how to spend money very well. Ranka Dede. I'm voting for him because I just like him. No research about him, no information about him, nothing about him. And you vote for that person. And don't forget, this person has gone to borrow money to campaign. He gets in there. The first thing he's doing is siphoning money to pay his debts. He finished paying his debt. All the people that supported him with every kobo, every naira, he's sorting them out with contracts. So in essence, the contract that should cost 200,000 will cost 1 million. The way we carry on looking at these things happen, and we're not seeing anything, we're not doing anything about it. We're just discussing it in our rooms. We're not looking for solution. I remember in history, our fathers, our mothers, they will come out, women will come out naked to show their discomfort. They will come out naked to show, how unhappy they are about situations. But what happens now? Everybody is just, the only nakedness you will see is, to work on TikTok. The only time you see people complain is, oh, MTN is down, my Wi-Fi is not working, so I can't go on TikTok. I'm not knocking TikTok, don't get me wrong. I'm speaking on TikTok, I'm speaking on Instagram, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So I'm not knocking it. There are so many things we use this for. The platforms are good, but we can't just stay folding our arms and just sitting there. I'm not doing anything, even if it's just to talk to people, sensitize them, educate them, and let them know that this country cannot go down because it's down on it's lying flat on his back, but we can get it up again. But Rome was not built in a day. It starts from every little thing like what we're doing now, spending a few minutes to listen to us talk about it. Look in your community and talk to people, sensitize them. Election will come soon. Don't vote the little food they will give you. Don't vote the little money they will give you. Vote for the future of your children. Vote for your future. Vote for the future of the country you believe so much in. I have strong faith in that country. It's the people that we need to change our mindset. We need to change the way we think. We need to change the way we act. And we need to change our mindset about those people ruling us. Because if we don't change all of this, it will carry on happening. Nigeria has just been, is going from one level of worse to another level of worse every day. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes thinking about it. Is this how we're going to carry on? Thank you so much for liking it. Thank you so much. Sorry, when I guess it started like this, I just carry on. Thank you, everyone. Please carry on liking it. Let people join us. We're live on TikTok. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram, and we're live on YouTube as well. So anyone that is convenient for you, please join. Please, apologies for the way I'm looking. I had to rush in to just start. I didn't really prepare to start now, but the time was, against me. But yeah, it's my voice you need to hear. Thank you so much. It's Nigerians Speak, and this is where we just, brainstorm about what's going on in Nigeria, and we'll keep it fresh in our minds until there's a change, until we can find solution. And that solution, we're not going to leave it to some people somewhere. That solution is in your hand, is in my hand. Nobody can say, "Oh yeah, it's none of my business. It's only the rulers. It's only the governors. It's only the governing people." It's you and I, because we vote. At least we voted for them to get there. We voted for them to get there. So if we are looking at everything they are doing that we are not happy with, and we are quiet, and we carry on, looking at what they are doing and thinking that is the right way. Most of you come abroad, you see things, how things are done in diaspora. We see how things are done, and it's got to start from every household, from everyone. We can't fold our arms and say that, oh yeah, it's the people in Abuja. No, it's everybody everywhere that has the Nigerian blood in your vein. If you have Nigerian blood in your vein, you will have a say in how it is run. If you don't have a say in how it is run, then you yourself are doing something wrong. If you're not voting, if you're not getting involved in your communities, you are part of the problem. Time to fold our arms is past. That's gone. It is now time for us to get involved in the conversation, to get involved in what is happening, to tell them we are not satisfied with what they are doing. Is by having these kind of situations where we brainstorm and talk about it. In your homes, you're talking about it. You start researching people before they even start talking about, oh yeah, I want to be the next governor. I want to be. Start researching them. Research people before they now come and say that they want to rule you. Who have you been? What have you done? What is your history? Don't just vote people from the face value of it. And yeah, I had it's stuck on YouTube. I don't know. It shouldn't be. It should be all right because I can see myself clearly on it. Check again. Thank you. We just have to carry on. We have to carry on talking about it. 30,000 minimum wage. 30,000 naira. What can you buy with that? I beg. Money that you spent at suya joints on one evening on his own. You even spend more than that, if I remember correctly, when I was in Nigeria last. So how does the government expect a family? Because usually the people earning that, maybe the wife is selling wosi and the husband is earning 30, 40,000, and they have two kids. How is that? It doesn't add up. It does not add up. And people, help people around you. Help people around you. Don't think that you have arrived and people around you don't care about them. Please help people around you. Don't. And I heard that 30K is when you're working for the government. Someone just said that on TikTok now. That 30K is if you're working for the government and not private organizations. So if you're working for private organizations, what happens? Is it worse or is it better? I'm so sorry if I'm sounding a bit, I'm not on top of everything. I just got very interested, this year in the whole situation because I live in the UK and I got married to an Englishman, so my children. So those are the reasons I've been out of touch. But after seeing the things happening, I can't stay out of touch anymore. I have to get involved, and so I'm just using my little way of getting involved to start from here. I heard a private school is paying a staff 13, 15K. 15K. How? My heart goes out to people being paid such ridiculous amounts. My heart goes out to them. And they're talking about farming. I heard them. They are telling people in the south that they should live a particular kilometers from the sea for Fulani's cow rearers to be able to pass through. I, I am scared of what is going on. Very scared. I know that everything happens all over the world that people are not are happy about in their country, in their governor, in their government, and all that. But our situation is dire now. It is dire. You can't send children to school and be happy, knowing fully well, be rest assured that my child is coming home to me. 288 kidnapped in broad daylight during school. Honestly, guys, let's not keep quiet. Let's carry on talking about these things. If you can't do anything else, talk. That's number one. Number two, make sure you are voting your conscience. Make sure you are voting your research. If that's the only thing you are doing, you are contributing. If that is the only thing you are doing, research who you are voting for. If that's the only thing you are doing, you are contributing. There's so many ways to contribute. There's so many ways to contribute to getting Nigeria back on his feet. From talking, and I've said it several times. You want to talk? Invite. I will invite you on to come and speak your mind as well. You know, everybody has a voice. Use it for good. Talk about it to our parents that don't understand, to our neighbors that do not understand, that are not educated. Educate them. Even if that's the little you're doing, every drop counts. Every drop counts. At least if you know that, okay, I voted my conscience, even if the person I voted for did not come in, that's all right. You voted your conscience. You're happy with that. You can sleep easy. But knowing that you voted because someone gave you 20K, you know that Nigerian falling is falling on your head. Walking past everybody that you can, help and not help is part of it. There are so many ways you can contribute to this renaissance because there's got to be a new thing. There's got to be a new voice. And that is the voice of you and I coming together to speak against all this ridiculousness going on in Nigeria. It's so ridiculous. our history. I remember in what was this topic? I think it was government. They used to tell us about the history, the Aguirre-Ronces, what they did, the Awolowo's, the Azikiwe's, what they did, that will, rise up inside you. But I don't know if they're still talking about them in the schools now. When I was looking for Yoruba teacher for my class for my children, it was a tussle to find a Yoruba teacher. So I don't know if they're still doing government, if they're still teaching them about what our forefathers have risen and done in the past. Arise, O compatriots. Are we compatriots? If what we care about is just yourself, you can't call yourself a compatriot of Nigeria if you're not doing anything about it. We just sit down after watching our football, talk about the kids that were kidnapped, then jump to, what do you drink now? NSC or whatever. And, that's it. It's done. Really? Really, guys? And I, I have argument with people in my family as well. Some people in my family believe, everybody going their own way is the solution to Nigeria, Odua nation or whatever. I do not. I'm not saying I can't be convinced, but I've not heard any arguments that will make me agree that splitting Nigeria is the best way forward. I've not heard any argument that will sway me that way. Okay, because I know the problem with that country is not the size of the country, is not the tribalism of the country, having over 250 tribes. That is not the problem. The problem are the people. Some people that are not interested in getting that country on its feet. They just want to, siphon money and be all right on their own. And after doing all of that, they siphon the money, they keep it in their houses, they send their children abroad, they throw exorbitant parties for people to see they have arrived. And after all of that, what happens then? What happens? They don't die. They will die eventually. Of course they will. And the moment they die, and you start seeing what is happening to their estates, you'll be shocked. So we need to stamp out that greed. The greed is the major problem of that country. It's not the size. And partisans. Yeah, I belong to this party. Is that party that's got to? Those are the problems that we have. When you vote parties or you vote tribes instead of voting people, that is the problem. We need to learn to research people before we entrust. It's just like, okay, say for instance, you need a doctor. And this guy comes in and say, you said, are you a doctor? I said, yeah, I always wanted to be a doctor, but really, I'm a bricklayer, so I can patch anything up. You need an operation, I can do it. Would you lay on the table for that person? Would you? Of course you wouldn't, because he's not a doctor. Regardless of if he's your brother or your parent, you will not. My mom is a retired head teacher. I'm not going to let her carry knife and operate on me. Even though she's educated, I'm not going to, because she is not a doctor. I need a lawyer in court. I'm not going to say, oh, my mom, because you are my mom, come and represent me in court. No, it does not work. Okay? The same way, you can't say, that man is from my tribe, he's from my state, I'm going to vote for him because he's from my state, without knowing him, without knowing what he has achieved. So I don't care if he's Fulani and quote me. I don't care if it's Fulani, I don't care if it's Igbo, and I don't care if it's Hausa or Yoruba. What I care about is what can you do for that country? I don't care about your tribe. I don't care about your party. I care about you. What have you achieved? Are you a man with an integrity Can I trust you to do that to run that office, the right way? Are you equipped for it? Are you educated in that field that you're in? What have you achieved? Just the same way you have a company, you want to bring someone to come and work for you. The person tells you is an accountant. Okay, come here. Did you study accounting in school? No, I studied biochemistry. Oh, okay. What do you know about accounting then? Yeah, I did maths in secondary school. Would you employ that as your accountant, regardless of if it's your family? That is the problem we are having. And that is what we need to change. If we don't change that, we will carry on having this problem, because the person that doesn't know how to run that business will tell you is going to, if you don't know how to run it, how can you now know who to employ to run it with you? Of course, it's just going to bring his sisters and his brothers and his family and his friends in, and they will carry on doing the shit job that they have been doing that's running that country down. People, we can't keep quiet anymore. We cannot keep quiet. Regardless of where in the world you are, you cannot keep quiet. You've got to make a change. You've got to contribute to that change that that country needs, from your voice, from your home, from your attitude. Because charity begins at home. You start from yourself first. Look at yourself, dissect yourself. What part of me shows greed? What part of me is corrupt? How can I be better? I'm not expecting you to turn to Jesus. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting you to turn to Jesus. But just be a tiny bit better than you were yesterday. That's all you need. Just a tiny bit better than you were yesterday. And that way you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I am contributing my quota. Just be better as a person is a step in the right direction. Again, we're live on TikTok, we're live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And it's Nigerians Speak. We're using Vanny Vortex page at the moment for now, but eventually we're going to move to Nigerian Speak page on its own. And then we can stop borrowing from Vanny Vortex. That's me. They're not paying me to use Vanny Vortex for Nigerian Speak, but that's fine. That's me contributing my quota. My quota. Okay. Let's keep talking about it. Things happening. Nigeria is too massive. It's too advanced for what is going on there. It's too advanced. The kind of brains in that country. Sometimes when I come across, yesterday I was feeling a bit, football-y. So I was watching what was it? Commentaries on football and all that. And they were talking about Bukayo Saka. You would think he's my child the way I was beaming with pride and joy. That is one of the best in the world. Bukayo Saka, that boy. I was beaming with pride that that boy is a Yoruba boy. He's a Nigerian boy. Do I know him? No. Is he from my town? No. Yes, he's a Yoruba boy, but he's a Nigerian. And he's not only doing Nigeria proud, he's doing UK proud. He's doing Arsenal proud. And a lot of people in the world are wearing, jersey with Bukayo Saka at the back. That fantastic. We can have that in politics as well. Have people that with integrity, people that are making us feel, proud to be Nigerians. If you hear the way they speak about Nigeria in some places, people that don't know anything about Nigeria, you'll be shocked. There are countries that are worse than Nigeria, but you will hear them talk about it. And we don't care. We don't care about how shit their country is, whoever is talking, bad of Nigeria. We don't care. We just care about getting Nigerian better. We need youths. Start developing yourself. It's not just about TikTok. It's not just about fashionista. What do you call it? Influencer. It's not just about that. Get educated as well, because we need youths there. We need youths. Come with your ideas. Yesterday, I sat in my conservatory with my kids. I just called them. I said, guys, come here. I'm bored. Come and entertain me. They were not happy at first because they just wanted to play their games. I said, no, no, no. Please come on, come on, come on. Come and entertain me. I had 3 kids for a reason. Come and entertain me and all that. I do that a lot because I know that the way they're thinking is another fresh way. I don't want to stay in a box and put them in a box. I want to listen to them. I want to know what they have got to say. And the only way we can have youths that we can rely on is by encouraging them to get educated, by teaching them the history, by teaching them the values that make them the future of wherever they are. If you carry on, and I know that I can see that some of the viewers are not Nigerians, so whatever I'm saying cut across. Honestly, it cuts across. It just happens that what I'm talking about is Nigeria as a point of conversation now. But it cuts across, and what I'm saying, it relates to any community, because I know most people just go like, oh, I don't feel like voting. They don't vote because it's a working day and all that. Then you can't complain about the governor or the government. You cannot if you're not voting. Whether you are in the UK or you're in Canada or you're in US or you're in Nigeria, if you do not vote for that government, shut your mouth. So I have given many instances of how to contribute to make a nation better, to make your community better. By educating yourself, by educating your children, your home, and educating people around you, by having conversations, that sensitize you, by rubbing minds with people, by researching people you vote for, by voting. Too many ways to contribute. By starting your own business. Don't fold your arms and wait for government to come and help you. Probably because of my background in Nigeria. I don't even seek to okay, what can I get for government tax return, tax relief, something. I do not. I rely on the work of my hands. So don't think about what your country can do for you. Think of what you can do for your country. If you put yourself on such pedestal, you will do better. But people are so fond of the government, as if the government are, aliens. They are not people like you and me. They are people like you and me. And if we don't carry on talking and seeking to be better, what mouth have we got to talk? What mouth have we got to talk? When you see everything, you look away. You see that one, you look away. You see that one, you look away. Then you now get in there and go like, oh, things are so expensive. This government. You are part of the government because you voted or you did not vote. Either way, you are part of the government because you're not voting is silence. That means that I'm agreeing to follow whoever they put there. So whether you're voting or you're not voting, you are voting. Does that make any sense to anyone? Whether you vote or you don't vote, you are electing someone to the office. Because if you don't vote, you are saying that make my vote null. I seized my son's phone and that's it ringing at the background. Sorry. Sorry about that. So you need to vote. The price you pay for not voting is higher than the price you pay for voting. Because if you vote, at least that's one vote for someone that your conscience has chosen. And your reason for not voting before will be that, okay, I don't know who. So do your research. Do your research. You do your research, then at least your conscience is clear. Even if the person you have voted for from your research does not come in, your conscience is clear and you have contributed. It might look like it doesn't make any difference, but it does in some way. It does. Because it's a right habit that you have created. Okay, I'm not saying you'll be right all the time. You might vote someone that is going to be wrong for the country, but you will vote your conscience. And I believe so much in karma. So it must count for something. It must count for something. Okay. But if you choose not to, then those people that vote, you have to live with whatever they have put in there. Whether it's a Milokan or it's not my turn, whoever they have put there, you will have to live with that and be a sheep to them. So please, these children, make sure we are teaching them right by showing them from our actions how to be a patriot to their country. Any country you are from, this is important. Research whoever that you are voting for. Don't vote a tribe, don't vote a party. Vote people and research that person. Because I believe one of the biggest problem we have in the world is, parties, having these political parties. Because they will maim, kill, destroy to make sure that that party does not go down. Regardless, if what they have is a thief, they will put him there if that's the only person they have to make sure that that party does not go down. So they don't care about you and I. They don't care about, the laymen. But if you are doing your research, then those people that have no voice, we will start giving them voice. Those people that have nowhere to go, they will know they can rely on their people. Your integrity, my integrity. And with time, we'll start getting rid of these miscreants that are running the world down, not just Nigeria. They are running the world down. If you're in diaspora, think about what you can do to help that country down there. It is not so far-fetched that Nigeria could be a superpower. We have the human resources, like I always say, we have the natural resources, we have the human resources, we have the natural resources, we have the land, we have the brain. Because any field in the world, go there is a Nigerian there. Any field, there is a Nigerian there, running the show from higher places. So we can't forget our roots and say that, oh, it's none of my business. And we can't say that because this thing is affecting the north. Those of us in the south, we can rest on our oars and just be like, yeah, we're not affected. I want to be able to go to Nigeria with my friends and go like, yeah, let's get to the north. Let me go and show you the north. But for now, if I go to Nigeria with my friends, we have to stay in the south. It saddens me. It saddens me that we even have to be explaining, when I'm talking to people and they're like, oh, they kidnapped Nigeria. I'm like, oh, no, you have to explain to them that he's in the north. They don't get it because they're thinking, okay, what's the difference between London and Manchester? They don't get it. So we are one. So the solution, we all have to look for it as one. Again, we're on Nigerians Speak. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube every Sunday, 6 to 7 p.m. There was a mistake. They put it down as 6 to 7:30. I'm going to honor that today, but it's 6 to 7 p.m. and from next week. And we just, talk about whatever we have had that week and to carry on sensitizing people about, contributing their quota to make sure that their voice is heard, to make sure they're doing their own homework, so that when the time comes to vote people in, they are voting in their conscience. They are doing their research. Nigerian Speak is on TikTok, it's on Instagram, it's on YouTube. Please help us to get a voice out there by following us, by liking our videos, and by talking to everyone you know about us. We're just going to carry on doing this, and hopefully we'll get to that point where we can actually do more. Okay. Like I said, we are online every Sunday. Okay, we used to be online in the morning, but we've moved it to evening so that we can have more people, engage with us. Okay. So again, I'm going to round off with, talking about the children. These children don't know our history. So if you are a parent, it's important for our children to know the history. The history of your family, the history of where you are from. Otherwise, they just forget everything, especially in this 2024, that these Gen Alpha people, they are savage. They are savage. Even me, I am scared. And I don't get scared easily. I am scared of these new children. So please, let's put a bit of anchor on them so they remember the source. Let's remind them of their source. Tell them about the history. Tell them about, what happened in the past. If you are in the UK, tell them about the UK history. Tell them about the Nigerian history. The brave men and women that have been. Let's talk to them about it. Because they're the future of the world. Otherwise, otherwise, apocalypse. Honestly, nowadays that Alexa this, Siri that, and all that, we are being run by machines. This Gen Alpha, I'm not surprised if these kids now become machines because they're already acting like machines. So the only way we can make sure that okay, we are grounding them, is to remind them who they are. Tell them about our culture. Tell them about our past. Then we will know our future from that. I heard that in Nigeria they've eradicated languages, local languages from the schools. They only speak English, you know. So what happens to Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, Pidgin? I had to get a teacher for my kids to teach them Yoruba. And when they are fluent in that, I want to move them I want them to learn Pidgin. My darling, I throw away salute. Oh. Ah, please, guys, let's not keep quiet. Nigeria will be better. But it lies in your hand, it lies in my hands. It lies in your hand. It lies in your hand. Don't say because you are abroad, you will not vote. We vote from abroad. Oh. Let's do our research. Let's talk to our people down there to not vote for people that bring them gari and rice. Let them vote for people that they have researched. If we need to help them do the research, let's help them do the research. Let's stop voting parties and tribes. He's from my town. Let's stop that. My TikTok is asking me to verify. Uh-oh. It's going to go off if I don't. Aha. We only have about 20 minutes left anyways. So let's do this home run, advising ourselves on what we can do to help this situation. The situation is unpalatable. It's unpalatable. 30,000 minimum salary is ridiculous. I can't even wrap my head around it. How do they cope? How do they cope? So please, everybody, do your own bit. Do your own bit. Your own bit comes from sensitizing people around you, telling them to research people they vote for, telling them those little money they give them during election is not going to last them, telling them to vote their conscience, their research people before you vote for them, telling them to remember their roots, remember the culture. Let's not eradicate it from the schools. Let's remember the values. Let's remember what Nigeria has. Let's remember what it can become. Let's talk to people about this. The people that are there, the people that are out of there, the people that can contribute, the people that can hear you. Speak. And like I said, this does not only apply to Nigerians, anywhere you are at. Don't just vote, I like the sound of a name. Research that person before you put that person in the office. Then learn to cultivate the habit of voting. If you don't vote, you are voting. You're just not voting for a person. You're already voting a position. So cultivate the habit of voting. And that I'm saying that because I know myself for a long time, I couldn't be bothered with it. It was a very wrong attitude to have. So now that we know, please, because the reason we are having all of this unrest and everything is because we are giving miscreants power. We're not doing our research. We just follow along to like sheep. And that has not served us. So there is a renaissance now. There is a renewal everywhere. But it requires everybody coming together and contributing to the new change. You can contribute. Don't leave it to the governing party alone. Don't leave it to the people in governance. You can contribute. You can do your own bit. I can do my own bit. Okay, and even if it's just talking about, just telling one person, guy, before you vote, I beg, do research on this person you want to vote for. Even if it's just that, you have contributed. And I've said it earlier. Every drop helps. Every drop is what makes the ocean. Someone is at my door. I'm hoping one of the kids will get it. So every little helps. And look at yourself as well. How can I be better? Is there anything in me that I can change that will, change the community, that will change my nation, that will change, the way we see things? Take off the rose-colored glasses by saying, it's the government, those people at the top. No, it starts from people down here. From people down here. And the people down here are you and I. Every one of us has a role to play. Make sure your children, and I'm going to face those people in diaspora. I know it's happening in Nigeria too. They said all of the nursery schools and the one under the canopy and the one the big ones too. They are eradicating traditional languages. No, we can't let them eradicate our traditional languages. So make sure your children can speak. That's one thing I love about the Asians, whether it's Indian, Chinese, the Asians, their children will still speak their native language and they will speak better English than you. So why are we stopping our children from learning? Even my children that their dad is white, I got a teacher for them to teach them Yoruba, which is my language. So let's not eradicate our traditional languages. It is important. It's part of our future. It is part of our future. And our history too, we cannot forget it. Let's remind them who Awolowo is. Let's teach them who Nnamdi Azikiwe is. Let's teach them who Aguiyi is. Let's teach them about all these people that have fought for that Nigeria to bring it to where it was before our generation start bringing it down to where it is now. You can't continue to have the attitude of it's just me and my family. You can't continue to have that attitude. That country is a family on its own, and you are part of that family, and everybody has a voice, and that is why this is Nigerians Speak. Everybody has a voice. I am using mine, use yours too. Create your channel, I will follow you if that's what you want to do. If you are not savvy enough for that, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family. Don't leave it to other people, because when you leave it to other people, you have already said, I do not care. So you can't complain if naira becomes if pounds becomes 5,000 naira. You cannot complain then, because you are contributing to it. A lot of people are rooting for this country. A lot of people that are not Nigerians, they are rooting for this country because they know what it can be. Nigeria should be on the same level as Dubai and the rest of them. If Nigeria says Nigerians should not be paying tax, Nigeria has the wherewithal to not rely on the citizens to pay tax. But upon everything, where are we? Some people are just doing rankadede somewhere. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If we carry on that way, it's not going to work. We have to change that. And we have to contribute. You have to contribute to it. I have to contribute to it. It doesn't matter if you're abroad. It doesn't matter if you're there. Anywhere you are, you can still make an impact. You can still make a difference. Again, we're on Nigerians Speak. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. And every Sunday we're here doing the same thing, talking about it. We want our voice to be heard. It's Nigerians Speak. You want to speak, please drop us a message and we will invite you to speak on our next one. Everybody's allowed to speak. You have a voice. Nobody's going to, gag you and tell you not to speak. You're free to speak because you're a Nigerian. Okay. And that is so important. The voice, what we speak about, we bring about. So we need to carry on speaking about it until, because I was not interested up until December. Up until December gone, I was not interested. But it was from hearing people talk about it, from seeing what has happened. That's why I decided to start a Nigerian Speak. But if somebody has not talked, I wouldn't have known to start. So it comes from hearing people talk. And for you to hear people talk, some people have to talk. So you have to talk, I have to talk. And the government too, they will carry on hearing us. And at one point, is either they change or they die off or they go off. And somebody that has, heard about us, that's heard about the plight of Nigerians, will go there and it will probably make a change. But for that person to make a change, that person must hear about the pains, the travails of Nigeria. An average Nigerian is suffering. And I say an average Nigerian because those of the, you might go like, they have money, they do parties and all that. Is a fraction. A fraction. I don't even think it's up to, I can't categorically say 10% of Nigerians are okay. I don't think I can say that. Just like we join, and Kiki Love is saying, just like we join hands together during the NSAS, we can do that now and things will change. There you go. I like when people come up with ideas. Last week we had who was it? Who was it? I think it was I can't remember the guy's name, and he said that we need to not forget about our culture, and that is very important, and that's what has brought us to where we are at today. Our history brought us to where we are at. All over the world. Take for instance, we blacks. Anywhere in the world you go to now, you walk down the street, nobody's looking at you. You're commonplace now. There was a time, you have to remember, there was a time that as a black person walking down the street, you're looking over your shoulder that But because some people fought for you to be able to stride down this trail, some people worked for you to be able to do that. I've seen it before. I just started watching it again. Downton Abbey. And one of the girls said she wanted to be a secretary. She was working in the kitchen. She said she wanted to be a secretary. And it felt like she had said she wanted to be the Queen of England. So some people fought for an average girl to go like, yes, I want to be in the parliament. Some people fought for that. And they gave that to us. So can we make sure we're giving it to our children a bit better than we found it? That's the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum for us to just, a bit better. Just a little bit. I always say to my children, I said, everything is ordinary. Everything and everybody, we're all ordinary. I said, do you know what makes an ordinary become extraordinary? Is that just fraction of a little bit better than ordinary? And that's why they call it extraordinary. So just a little bit you do above ordinary is what makes you extraordinary. Thank you so much. Please, we're using Vanivortex and we're using Nigerians Speak. It's free. Join us on both. Like, subscribe, join us on YouTube, on Nigerian Speak on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Every Sunday we are here talking about the issues facing Nigeria. On another day, you might come to Vanivortex and find something totally different. But on Sundays, between 6 and 7 p.m., is Nigerians Speak and it's for Nigerians. I'm so sorry, those of you that are not Nigerians, that are expecting to find something different here. At any other time, you have me. And Vanivortex is a playground where we just come to just mess about. But on Sundays, 6 o'clock to 7 p.m., it's just Nigerians Speak, and it's about Nigeria and what is going on in that country and what we can do to make it better. Okay. And like I said, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. Please follow us. Tell people about us. Get people to follow us. Get people to know about this. We are new. We are very new, but at least we have done about 4 weeks now. So keep talking about us. Let's carry on doing this. Everybody has a voice. Use yours. You want to create something like this, please do. Ask us to follow you. We will follow you. You have any information to give us, please drop it on our pages in all the platforms that I've just mentioned, and you can always contribute any way you think you can. Okay, and if it's just by telling people about us, we're made up. We are not asking for money. We don't need money. We just need you to be here to hear us talk about it and to sensitize people about it as well, and to join us every Sunday between 6 and 7 p.m. I'm going to be picking people from our regular viewers and inviting them, to co-host with me on Sundays, and we can all carry on brainstorming about it. This is like family intervention. We're going to do intervention for that country. Okay. And a lot of people are focusing on the leaders. Let's leave them for now. Let's leave them. Let's leave them for now. Let's focus on our house. So let's start from our house. Let's start from you and I. Let's look inside ourselves and look at the corrupt part of ourselves and cut it out. At least even if it's just 1% better than you were yesterday. That's my prayer to God every day. I just want to be a tiny bit better than I was yesterday, and that I'm made up. Okay, so that's what I'm encouraging everybody to do. Be a better citizen of wherever you are. Be a better citizen of wherever you are from. Don't forget where you are from, and don't forget where you are at. It is important to hold on to both and not let any one of them slip. Again, I'm Vanny Vortex. I am on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And I am speaking under Nigerians Speak platform. And even though we are running on Vanny Vortex in some places, we are actually live on Nigerians Speak on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube as well. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And hopefully you will join us again next week. And when we come up with the new information that we have gathered from Nigeria again, you have any information, please drop it into our inboxes. We will be glad to receive information from you, and we will get back to you as well. You want to speak or be a guest with us, please just drop it into our boxes and someone will get back to you, and you'll be scheduled to come in and speak as well. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy your week coming. Again, don't forget, you are as important as anyone. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I am rooting for you as I am rooting for myself. And above all, I am rooting for Nigeria. Arise, O compatriots. Let our voice be heard and keep on speaking, because there is no one that does not matter here. You all matter. And please, the people around you, talk to them, help them. Don't just look down on anyone, because everybody matters. Everybody matters. Okay, and again, that is the end of this week's, and I'll see you again on Sunday. It's Vanny, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you for not judging the way I look today. I just rushed in because I was running late. I promise to look a bit better next week. All right, thank you so much and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.